Double infantry here, 3v3, Garvus Ice Gate, blue team. We've got Romulus Berserk as a Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed, starts off in melee combat with a basic synapse, good offense, disruption and support from this guy. Alongside, Antandron is a force commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. And rounding off this team here is Pigmeo as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on powerful offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. Some Black Legion over here. Red team, Annoying Fisher is a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Blood Ravens over here. Alongside here, GoldenChicken the Mute is a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Great buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. This is the same Han elite scheme. Looking dapper as usual. And rounding off the teams here, Qwest is a Lord Commissar. Strong offense and support. Fights in melee combat, begins with a refractive field. This is the Death Core of Krieg DLC from Relic. And looks like it's going to be 2v1 here, Qwest. So GoldenChicken needs to make something happen on the west side. Looks like he's hanging out right now, waiting for his teammate to push. Needs to be very careful here, Qwest. Doesn't want to lose too many models. Wants to try and node up that power if he can too. See that shield up, causing the Commissar to take energy as damage instead of health until it depletes. Very useful thing early on, allows him to get stuck in and tie things up a lot more effectively. Double Termagants here though, alongside a Force Commander. And Hormagaunts getting stuck in. 8 models doing melee attacks will hurt ya. Might be able to get some models off these guys, but now his shield is down, it's looking dicey, gets away fine. Sentinel's in decent shape, but needs to be careful. Double Termagant shooting at it, especially if they get their toxin sacks up here quickly. I'd say go for the Warrior Brood on the east side for Romulus with the Barb Strangler. Help control that Commissar and those guardsmen, and can transition into Thorax Swarm tier 2 for some anti-vehicle help. Really make Qwest think twice about getting a Chimera up. I assume they can target Sentinels too. The electroshock grubs as they're called. Pigmeo looks like he turned and came mid to face off the Eldar, who decapped the VP, and we see Annoying Fisher capping up the west side completely. Could node that as well and be really annoying. Qwest did node here, might get destroyed. Sentinel again needs to be careful. He's getting another Sentinel up here, Qwest. Tyranids can struggle dealing with multiple Sentinels early on. Double CSM for Pigmeo with double Heretics too. And that Chaos Lord leading a line gives you those mobility options because you can break these walls on the gate maps. It's usually just a wasteland of debris later on, this map. In tier 3 and stuff. All the walls broken down. Big open area mid. Tactical Marines taking the heavy cover. Some scouts getting smacked on retreat. Double scouts into Tactical Marines for Fisher. Not often you see scouts being the first thing purchased. This did get completely decapped over here, and Lord Commissars needed to retake. But he did well, I think. Qwest handled 2 players relatively well, kept losses to a minimum, used his commander well, and can now retake this side. Does he have a stomp? I guess not. And neither do you. Those guardsmen maybe should have been repairing then. Lord Commissar's now idle, needs to turn and engage these Hormagaunts, but they are forced off. Here comes the Force Commander. And I'm not sure if this is a good idea to move up like this. Are the Marines going to cap? Is that why he's doing it? No, they're going to join the fight. I think he should stay back here and cap, because here comes GoldenChicken with Banshees on retreat path potentially. That might be a dead Force Commander. I think this is a misplay. It's a hard thing to judge when you can't see the other player coming in. Here's Banshees. There's Fortune up from the Armour of Fortune of the Farseer. In amongst the Marines with their power weapons. Bad news for heavy armour and double dire Avengers. And here's the Warrior Brood jumping in with that awesome disruption. It's a passive thing that they do in their melee state. Farseer getting stuck in. Nice special attack, but she doesn't really want to fight that Warrior Brood there. I think she does around 30 DPS melee in her default state, the Farseer. 445, 462, double cap for red. What's going on west side? Pigmeo's retaken large parts of it. Raptors on the field. Bad news for those Marines. And double CSM, one of them with Eternal War, should have been forcing melee combat a little bit earlier then. Could have got a model perhaps, but can bash power, I think, fully over here. Red team have taken blue team's natural. Heretics can retake it here. Force Commander did go down. Hive Tyrant with his Bioplasma, one of the most rarest seen war gears. It's pretty good though. 90 plasma cannon damage and knockback. I think the animation's a little bit quicker now too. That was one of the big problems it had. The wind-up animation was so long. Although it was a good tool to use against setup teams, since they can't move out of the way quickly enough. Need to back off here, I think, Romulus. No reason to push up. Just sit back and cap your VP, let them come to you. Not sure what they're trying to achieve here. There's that smoke grenade from the Catachans, giving some resistances to those guys. I think it gives suppression immunity, in fact, and some damage resistance too. His guards are getting pretty low. Those are upgraded Termagants. Double Warrior Brood from Romulus. You used to see this quite a lot in retail with double Barb Strangler Warriors, and in fact, he is getting one Barb Strangler at least. 403, 436 early on. Players starting to think about tier 2. In fact, Annoying Fisher just went there. Quite a big, heavy tier 1 for Pigmeo, double CSM. One of them upgraded with Raptors and double Heretics, although, oh, they just got an aspiring champion. Chaos Lord with no war gear. Still a big bruiser early on. Double cap there for blue. Been pretty good, Pigmeo. Sometimes players get a bit too preoccupied fighting that west side when they start off there. Take a bit too long to transition to the mid, but he seems to be poking around mid quite a good amount. Now fighting GoldenChicken with some grenades going off. Raptor's in trouble. Need to run away. He's going to lose him, I think. Just as I was praising his play, he leaves his Raptors in combat way too long. There's Kill the Weak. Now Heretic's in trouble. Grenade goes in. It's a nasty grenade on those CSM. Got the Banshees out of there, but Double Dire Avengers able to get the DPS on all those targets. And retreats out. Raptors lost then. That's a big win for Red Team. It is double Barb Strangler Warriors. Now these guys, the Barb Strangler has its own unique damage type. Yeah, as you see there, 35 Barb Strangler damage per shot. That does extra damage to super and heavy infantry, which is why this thing seems kind of painful sometimes when you see all of the Marine models get hit by it. It does full damage to regular infantry. And has that instant suppression. It's a really nice weapon, which is why it's relatively pricey at 25 power. 403, 354 double cap for blue team as tier 2 beckons everyone. Annoying Fisher getting a plasma cannon on the field. Blue team have the map here. Look at this. Pushed up quite well. A couple of sloppy engagements for Reds. Annoying Fisher seems to be off the field for a while. And Pigmeo continues to pressure, even losing his Raptors. He's keeping the pressure up on that west side. Goes tier 2. Quarter of the way there. Could get a Blood Crusher up and make Annoying Fisher get anti-vehicle stuff that he may not want to get. Lots of pressure east side too. There's that Bioplasma. Boom. And of course Sentinels do count as heavy infantry, so we'll see if the double Barb Stranglers can put a dent in them and make them back off. Might be a full retreat here. Again, I don't think he needed to push up. Sure, he got a generator there, but I think staying a bit more solid on this east side maybe would have been a bit better, although with GoldenChicken coming in, he probably wouldn't have been able to hold anyway. I didn't lose much on retreat there. Hive Tyrant lives. Warrior Brood coming in, need to be careful. We might have forgotten about these guys. Gonna need to retreat them off immediately, there we go. And Power Bash here for Red Team, I think. Meanwhile, mid, Scouts on capping duty. Force Commander has no war gear. No, he has the Artificer, making it a bit more durable. Plasma Cannon getting flanked by Heretics. Chaos Lord went down. Oh, there was the Blood Sacrifice Blood Letters, which was kind of wasted. Global ability of the Chaos Lord, sacrificing a model to spawn 4 Blood Letters for a limited time. As their energy drains here, they will go back to the warp. Leveling up there, that Techmarine. Do we get a full bash? These Guardsmen are not helping out here. And Sentinels are not the best bashing unit ever. Catachans moving up to help. They do get the D cap. They might even get a cap here. GoldenChicken goes tier 2 pretty late. Dreadnought on the way for Annoying Fisher. Pigmeo has no way to quickly transition into anti-vehicle with the units he has, although I guess Havoc's las cannon is pretty quick. Bioplasma completely whiffs there for the Hive Tyrant. He gets away with 3 hit points though. Barb Stranglers flying in. There's that old reliable grenade launcher. Can they get... Oh, they didn't get the cap on the power there. Should be able to edge forward and retake, I think, with the double Barb Stranglers, but we'll see. Yeah, there's some big damage. There's that smoke, which prevents suppression, as you can see there. Pretty nice. 403, 265. Not sure how long it lasts. Cataclysm still taking damage though. Hits those guardsmen. Whittling down the warrior brood models though. That could wipe them. Almost wiped out those guardsmen there. Big engagements on this west side and in the middle. Blue team pushing very hard. Here comes a Dreadnought though for Annoying Fisher, starting off in this melee state for the Space Marines. And Pigmeo responds with Plague Marines on the field with their snaring missile launcher. Good durability. 2,000 hit points on those fellas. Howling Banshees level 2 with their Exarch, who has her spear because of aspect of strength. Plasma Gun Techmarine will be a threat to the CSM, who only dropped one model there. Venom Brooder up. Ogren's on the way for Qwest. What about you, Mr. Commissar? You have your sword, you might get the... What's it called? Not stubbornness, the other thing. Which buffs her Aura of Discipline, that's it. 374, 262, 2-to-1 cap for red. Lord Commissar leading a line, gets in on the Venom Brood, and Banshees hitting the Termagants. Might be able to get a little power bash here, or maybe not. Barb Strangler and Termagants. Need some support here. Dark Creepers hitting the field for GoldenChicken, pumping out 15 DPS Inferno per model. A little bit more than that, I think it's like 15.2. Big damage to those Warrior Brood, and they are forced to retreat. Do they have their aspect? They don't. Gives them pinning fire and a little damage bonus. 354, 262 on the VPs. Relatively close. Red team starting to get back the map here, and here are some Ogrins. Need to be careful with double Barb Stranglers around. And Termagants, of course. And a Dreadnought now for Antandron. So Ogrins need to be very careful. They do have heavy melee, but don't want to fight a Dreadnought with melee resistance and heavy melee damage of its own. And a crap ton of hit points. Ogrins need to avoid the Dreadnought. They're going for it. They do have some help from a cracked missile sentinel. There's the Emperor's Fist. Yeah, I think he's overcommitted his Dreadnought here. Why did he push it up that far? Guess he wanted to force them off and cap, but he's put the Dreadnought under unnecessary threat, I think. Armor of Fortune on the Ogrins. Nice play from GoldenChicken's Farseer. And yeah, I was saying they shouldn't engage, but if you overcommit, you're going to go down. I think that's Doom. It is Doom. Does the Dreadnought live? I think the Dreadnought lives. That Sentinel trying to get a shot on, I think. He needs to give it a move command to move up, but he did not, and the Dreadnought lives. And it kind of had no right to. Marines getting grenaded in the face, though. What are they doing? They're sitting out of cover. Exchanging fire. Is going to lose one. Yeah, lost a squad. Dark Creepers ripping through him here. Look at that damage. Dark Creepers are forced off eventually. And Red Team are off the field, I think, completely. Oh, Sentinel's still in play. Assault Marines hitting the field for Antandron. And getting their Sergeant too. Dreadnought needs some repairs, though, desperately. Going to take a while, I think. What do we have here? Some Fire Dragons for Annoying Fisher. They will be danger to the Dreadnought, especially if he overcommits it again. Going for the VP here, using their speed buff. And they might get it. Oh, here comes some, in fact, double Markov Corn CSM with Eternal War. Very, very scary for the Fire Dragons, because these guys are heavy infantry, I believe, these days. Tearing through them on retreat there. Holy crap. Almost wiped them out. Almost wiped them out. If those heretics actually engaged instead of worshipping, I think he could have wiped them there. Pigmeo continues to do well on this west side. Plague Marines bashing power slowly. Chaos Lord doesn't want to help out. Generators don't bleed. Romulus goes tier 3, the first player to go. Has a lot of red, but struggling for power right now. Oh, Crushing Claw Hive Tyrant. 108 heavy melee DPS. I think it was reverted back to 50 power because he got his 4.5 speed back in 2.7, I believe. 295 to 249 on VPs is pretty damn close. Ogren's coming back to the east side. Did a good job on that Dreadnought before, which is still being repaired. Might be worth it to get the Assault Cannon, and he is in fact going for it. Now he needs to be extra careful against his Ogrins because he's going to lose melee resistance. In fact, he needs to be pulling it back right now, I think. Nope. They didn't spot it, I don't think. 295, 245. Both of the Sentinels with their missile launchers can use the cracks against the Dreadnoughts. And now they've found it. Boom. Oberyn's moving in. Not sure if Antandron is paying attention elsewhere. There's a jump. But Dreadnought needs to be moving back here. Oberyn's to do a lot of damage to a walker without melee resistance. Those attacks add up. I think they do around 30 DPS heavy melee each. Down it goes. Big misplay from Antandron. Should have been moving that guy back as soon as he saw those sentinels coming in. In fact, as soon as his units were forced off there, as soon as the Tyranids were forced off, he should have been moving back. He's breaking some walls. Not sure that's in the Codex Astartes, fellas. Needs to build up his power too. A little bit idle over here on the west side. Annoying Fisher doesn't want to push against the double Markov Corner CSM, I think. Does he have shotguns? He does have double shotguns. So he does have ways to control them. And a plasma gun. And of course the plasma gun for the Techmarine and Signum. So at least one of those Markov Corner CSM could be in trouble. We see again Pigmeo doing the right thing and coming mid to put pressure on. Double cap here for red team. 216, 245. We're going up east side. Tier 3 for Pigmeo. Red team seem to be kind of stuck in tier 2s. There's some heavy tier 2s. There's that levitation field from the Farseer. She had the Doombringer, didn't she? I think, yeah, she did. So she switched to the Gravity Blade. Big damage on that Hive Tyrant. Jumping in our Assault Marines, but they're going to be in big trouble, I think. But here we see the Force Commander getting ready to rock and roll with Thunderhammer and Sacred Standard. Constant debuffs. Holy crap, nice run of formation from Romulus. Almost wiped out those Dire Avengers and facilitates a big retreat, although Oberyn's still in play, Guardsman's still in play, and a medical Imperial Guard bunker too. Here's that Dreadnought back. In fact, it's a new Dreadnought, isn't it? The last one went down. Not sure why you would get another one. You've seen the Fire Dragons, you've seen the Oberyns, you've seen the double Sentinels. He gets another Dreadnought up. Big misplay, I think, from Antandron. These things are not cheap, and he's going to lose it pretty quickly. Down it goes. Big waste of resources there. That's a bad choice. Pigmeo with Chaos Terminators on the field continues to look strong and put pressure on the mid. Annoying Fisher down to double Marines. Lost the Scout Squad. Lost his Plasma Cannon. Red doing some power bashes. Fire Dragon's pretty good at that. There's those double Barb Stranglers coming in, but they're taking damage. Needed to, I think, pick 2 different targets for the Barb Strangler, try and spread that suppression around as much as he could. Here comes Antandron. Been a little bit more defensive here, which I think is good. Needs time to recover. Carnifex on the way for Romulus. A lot of AV around though. So needs to be careful for sure. There's that Bioplasma. Again, not doing a whole lot. Just hard to make it work. Hard to make it work consistently. Force Commander's down, given that 40% damage buff now to surrounding allies. Need to get close to him though. Farseer is level 4. Taking shots from the Plague Marines. Looks like the Markov Corner CSM are doing pretty well here. Level 3 and level 3. Could kill this Farseer. Nope. Do not chase her down. Chaos Terminators with their awesome autocannon. Good damage to all targets with a small AoE. And of course they debuff and demoralize units as they get kills, which is pretty useful. That stacks up. I'm not sure if it's got some kind of cap on the stacking. I think it only lasts like 5 seconds, so it can't stack a huge amount usually. Carnifex is here. What's he gone for? Gone for the Barb Strangler. And why not? 125 Plasma Cannon damage per shot and suppression. It's pretty damn scary. Sentinels are still around. You gotta say Qwest has done really well with his Sentinels, I think. Nice Merciless Strike, a good push from blue team. Decisive. And they should get this VP now, I think. Spore Mines birthed out by the Carnifex. Pigmeo, I think, has been forced off the mid. Terminator still in play. Those guys can't retreat, of course. Heretics don't need to be worshipping, I don't think. Terminator's having to teleport out. Plague Marines are going to take a lot of damage. Need to be careful. Forcing melee combat here. They do explode on death, so forcing melee combat can be annoying. Looks like we have blood sacrifice, bloodletters here. From one of those heretics, I believe. And he's staying in play here, Pigmeo. He's not giving up. I think he wants to try and get a decap before he leaves. I think he should back off here. Because that's going to be nasty for those heretics and those plague marines. He stayed in this fight way too long. Pigmeo, for some reason, doom blasting while he's in the air. Can they get away? Plague marines might go down on retreat. 70 hit points. Wow, they got pretty close. They're down to 4 hit points there, I think I saw. What's this? Tyranids cleaning up, mopping up on this east side. Now Carnifex thinking about coming mid, but thinks again, I think. Yeah, stay east side. Why come mid against 2 players? With Qwest set to join soon. He's gone tier 3 Qwest. GoldenChicken with some Seer Council on the field. Powerful melee squad with power melee weapons can leap into combat and have a constant 15% damage resistance to ranged weapons aura going on. Very, very nice. Oh, destructive strike from the Chaos Lords. Lightning Claws, his first piece of war gear. Bad news for any heavy infantry round. Venerable Dreadnought dropped in by Annoying Fisher, one of my favourite units. Unique to the Techmarine. 1750 hit points compared to the 1200 for the regular Dreadnought. Kicking off east side though, big time. Very brave Farseer getting in there. And a rocket run. That's pretty mental. Brood Nest was up. Tyranids seem to have done alright, considering. I don't think they lost too much. But I think Red Team will retake it here. Force Commander staying in play way too long, losing his Assault Marines too. And the Force Commander goes down. And Marines in big trouble because of this Seer Council. Antandron loses his entire army. That is GG, I think. Looks like he got some lag and accidentally alt-tabbed. Well, Pigmeo doesn't believe him. He thinks it was just a misplay. It's gone tier 3 with no units on the field. Surely this is 1 now for Red Team. They've got good armies on the field. So is Pigmeo and Romulus though. If both of these guys go mid, they could retake, maybe hold it with double Carnifexes. Chaos Lord, still no other war gear for this fella. Plague Marines with the single model. Just wants that missile launcher. Ogrin's on capping duty. And now Red Team just need to be kind of careful. They've got 86 VPs to hold up against essentially 2 players. Is Antandron going to buy some up? He must be waiting to get a good amount of power to get a tank or something. But should be getting some Marines on the field, I think, at this point, or Devastators or something, just to help hold. And help get this east side back. Chaos Predator on the way for Pigmeo. Is a really large army. Gravier Blade, very good choice against double Mark of Pawn CSM. He needed to try... Oh, he tried to get an Eldritch Storm in there, but mistimed it. Needs to try, I think, and shoot down the Farseer. Back off. Shoot her down, get her off the field before he moves in with all his melee units. Heretics moving away. Dark Creepers have done very well up at level 3 now. Here comes some Tyranids. It's got double Carnifexes, I think. There's the other one with the Venom Cannon. Red Team blobbing up unnecessarily here, which is perfect for Barbed Stranglers in your face. Ouch. That was pretty painful. Heretics need to run away. There we go. Plasma Cannon Devastators on the way for Antandron, and get some Assault Terminators up. That's what he was saving up his power for. Blue Team not out of this yet, I feel. Got 140 VPs to hold on to, and 2 of the players have very, very nice armies here. These Sentinels are still going, level 4. Look at this. What kind of Predator did he get? In its default state for now, which is fine. It's still a freaking tank. And they're pushing through the mid pretty well here. Dark Creepers can't really do anything to vehicles. Sentinels are a threat, but I don't think they want to hang around. Force Commander gets his Iron Halo up, swapping out his Sacred Standard, which I think is a misplay. Keep the Sacred Standard, be buffing so much stuff with it in the middle here. 11986. Has a lot of requisition, Antandron. Should be getting some Marines up, I think. Pushing up with his Assault Terminators. They do have their teleport available to get out of there. And his Terminators on capping duty. Chaos Terminators, that is. 10984. Single cap for blue. They're very much still in this. And something's capping east side too. It's Termagants here. Hive Tyrants down. Plasma Cannon is going to be in bad shape in melee from the Catachans. I hear that levitation field. Done some good work with it. GoldenChicken. Level 6 Farseer also has Runes of Reaping. But blue team have this. They have a double cap here. And Termagants are still capping. They're going to die though if they're not careful. Catachans with their shotguns will finish them off. And those Plasma Cannon Devastators were finished off. They didn't quite get that cap. It's going to be so close here, I think. Red team, I think, need to amass in the middle. Obviously they need to, because those guys can cap east side alone perfectly fine. Pigmeo is probably pop capped here. No. Still, he's only 61 pop. Quite a sizable army here. 109.23. But tons of requisition as well. Not a huge amount of power though. Trying a formation, stopping the cap. Doing a massive amount of damage to the Ogryns. Ogryns go down. I think it was a Plague Marine missile that got the last hit here. 109 to 14. Can the blue team do this? Where are the Assault Terminators? They are going east side to try and get a decap over there to make it a double alongside that Force Commander. And he's got his Sacred Standard back on. Don't think blue team can stay here for long though. In fact, he's come to the mid. There's the 2-1. But it's stopped at 3 VPs. Antandron needs to buy stuff. He might not be able to get what he wants to get, but he needs to get some stuff up, I think. The Assault Terminators go down. That was another misplay from Antandron. Looks like he's kind of given up here, which is unfortunate. Carnifex at level 2. Romulus loses a ton of stuff. And I think the writing's on the wall now for blue team. Pigmeo's lost quite a lot too in that push. Put up a hell of a fight though with 2 players. A hell of a fight. Baneblade on the way for Qwest. Predator tank on the way for Annoying Fisher. Just to put the nails in the coffin here. And they can get a triple cap, I think. And wind down this clock. Sea Council level 2. And they were pretty damn dangerous for those Assault Terminators. I think they walked into the Dreadnought and got Emperors fisted and stunned, and then everything else just obliterated them. Yep, Commissar gets the cap. There's going to be a triple, and despite only having 3 VPs, I think red team have this. Pigmeo might have given up here. There's that triple. 48 to 3, and they will see this out, I think. Although, what is this? Hive Tyrant trying to cap on this east side. Romulus hasn't given up. He's getting a Carnifex too. Eldritch on a Carnifex right on its face and takes it out. That is worth. What's this? Marines? Just dropped a drop pod in with nothing in it. Well done. Level 2 Venerable with Dark Age up to 22-25 hit points. Holy crap. Force Commander did hit level 5. There's that Baneblade, not going to be needed. Or is it? Catachans do get the cap back. And 3 VPs will do it for the red team. Unfortunate for Antandron. Had a bad game. Might have been a more inexperienced player. Everyone's got to start somewhere. Pigmeo and Romulus certainly did very well to try and hold after his devastating losses at the end of tier 3 there. Look at the heroes. Level 7 Commissar. Level 7 Farseer. Level 7 Techmarine too. Did have the orbs. Only a level 2 Hive Tyrant. How is that possible? And level 6 Chaos Lord does Lightning Claws. They have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.